Hi, this is Dick. Before we get into this week's CleanCast, I'm excited to announce a new training program that we've developed for supervisors. It consists of 12 lessons, 6 DVDs, complete with exercises that help the learning process, and discussion questions at the end of each lesson to assist also in the learning process. I'll be leading each session, which help the participants better understand the subject matter rather than just watching a video. Companies can use it in a group session or a one-on-one session for that new supervisor that you just brought on board. Most sessions are about an hour. As management, you can choose how long you want them to be, but most of them, if you just follow the format, it'll be about an hour. This 6 DVD, 12 lesson set will be available about March the 1st, and everyone will have an opportunity at that time to purchase it for the regular price of $239 for the 6 DVDs. Order from our website at consultantsinCleaning.com. You'll get all 6 of the DVDs, all 12 lessons, me personally conducting the lessons. So I want you to order today. Now, on to our CleanCast. Welcome to our CleanCast today. Thanks for joining us. Today we're going to talk about the story of the Chinese bamboo tree. And you've probably heard the story. It's an old story, but how the Chinese bamboo tree actually grows. You take a small seed, you put it in you put it in the ground, you plant it, you water it, and you fertilize it for an entire year. Nothing happens. The second year you water it, you fertilize it, nothing happens. The third and the fourth years you water it and fertilize it, and still nothing happens. Are you discouraged yet? Well, the fifth year you continue to water and fertilize the seed, and then guess what? Sometime during the fifth year, the Chinese bamboo tree sprouts and grows 90 feet in 6 weeks. 90 feet, equivalent to 9 stories in a building in 6 weeks' time. Now, think about that. Isn't it that way sometimes with our businesses? Don't we need to continue to water and fertilize our efforts? And yes, become discouraged, but have to remain consistent and not let up on what we are doing, because that's what reaps the rewards. Think about that. If you had a little seed that you planted and you watered it and fertilized it every day for 5 years with no results, you think you could call on a prospect that you think really needs your service, or they would be smart if they had it? I'm not talking about just general sales, but you know from everything that you've learned that the company would be best served having you. And would you be discouraged after calling on them for 5 years and not getting anywhere? Probably. Sometimes in this business, it's a pretty well-known fact that a suspect that we might have won't even talk face-to-face with us until the 6th or 7th contact. We've talked about that down through the years, that it takes about 6 touches before they'll even acknowledge you're out there, unless they need you badly. And I'm talking here, I'm not talking about the ones where you get the cattle call that, hey, we want 35 contractors to walk through the airport with us at this time. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about where you have real sales opportunities. You've been working on it, and you mail them. You follow Dick Olick's Consultants in Cleaning program to get in the door. And by golly, you got to the 6th time, and you're getting discouraged. If you're doing a touch every 3 months, that could be a year and a half, and you still haven't got anywhere. But then all of a sudden, they call you. I have a great example of that. I sold an account that was about at that time. Now this is 20 years ago, about $20,000 a month. And I would call on that gentleman, and they had a vestibule. They had a vestibule for when you came in, because a very secure building. It was a computer operation for a large international company. And they would put me in this, and I had to dial 29 or 64, whatever, for this gentleman. And about every 3 months I'd go there, and I couldn't get past that door. I just could not get past that door. And he'd just tell me, Dick, I told you when I was ready to buy from you, I'd call you. Well, that normally would be a pretty much a put off, get discouraged, but no, I let him tell me that every time. Then all of a sudden one day the phone rings. Serious. One day the phone rings. He said, are you ready to start cleaning my building? Well, let's see, does a bear poop in the woods? Yeah, I'd be happy to. Well, come on out. I want you to start this weekend. Okay. Don't you think, I get out there and I say, well, what about the pricing? I don't care about the pricing. I know what it needs to be. I'll show you what I'm paying, and if you can match it, fine. If not, I'm so sick and tired of what I got, I'll pay a little more. And as it turned out, he had to pay a little more. Not a lot, but a little more. And I had that account until they closed the building. Until they did some consolidation. I had that account probably 10, 12 years. But, here's a case where the guy, I'll call you when I'm ready. But I kept calling on him. And I kept calling on him. Was I discouraged? Yeah, because every time I went in the building, I'd get in this little 8-foot wide by 6-foot wide vestibule, and I couldn't go any further other than talk to him on the phone. As a side note, this gentleman became our best proponent of service in the entire city where he was. This is a subject for another podcast or Cleancast, but we did quite a few customer prospect information lunches where we would invite customers, good customers, and our best prospects to intermingle and have a kind of an informational meeting, like things that are happening in the industry or bundling services. Like I said, it's a subject for another podcast. But he would come to these lunches and he would almost to the point of embarrassing us. Hey, everybody in here, who's not cleaning? Who? Dick's not cleaning who? Anybody in here that Dick's not cleaning? Well, you ought to hire him. He's the best in town. Almost to the point that it was embarrassing to me, but I wasn't going to. He loved to do that, and I wasn't going to stop him because every time we had one of those lunches, I sold an account. So I wasn't going to. But the point is, we can be discouraged, but here's the thing. Are you continuing? I just need to ask you that question. Are you continuing to plant the seeds and water your business so that you continue to grow? Are you doing that? And those customers that won't give you the time of the day, but they would be good customers if you had them, are you continuing to make a touch with them so that one day it might be the case that they'll join you? Think about that. The bamboo tree, 4 years of watering and fertilizing, nothing. The 5th year grows 90 feet in 6 weeks. They kept up consistent watering and fertilizing. My question to you and my challenge to you, are you watering and fertilizing your business so that you can grow at some point down the road? Thanks for joining us. See you next time.